COVID-19 that spread throughout the world has caused many changes, including in Indonesia. This pandemic has an impact on various sectors, ranging from health, education, social, and economic sectors. The implementation of physical distancing slows down economic activity. This has an impact on various sectors, including Islamic economic sectors. The government has done various ways in order to deal with the pandemic, starting from the relaxation of tax provided to other incentives for the society. These incentives are used to stabilize the economic condition so that it is not too wrecked. However, the government isn't always able to handle social and economic problems independently. The society must also take initiative in order to deal with the pandemic.
Community initiatives in alleviating economic downturn can be realized through Islamic financial instruments, specifically Islamic social finance such as zakat, infaq, and alms. Islamic social finance will greatly impact the economy in the short term. Various ways have been done by the government in order to deal with the pandemic. The government is providing incentives in the form of social assistance such as conditional cash transfers program, the basic food program, the pre-employment program, household electricity subsidies, and the small micro business credit stimulus, so that the Indonesian economy continues to grow. In addition to government efforts, community could help economically and socially by social assistance movements. They are usually in the form of food assistance, funds, and so on. Also, there are many organizations engaged in social fields such as the Zakat Management Organization. They provide instruments that can provide assistance such as zakat, infaq, and alms. This is where the role of Islamic economics stands.
Talking about Islamic social finance, it is closely related to the nature of generosity. Indonesia is known for its people have a generous nature. Based on the 2018 World Giving Index created by the Charities Aid Foundation or CAF, Indonesia ranks first in the 144 countries they examine in terms of philanthropy. This data proves that the people of Indonesia like to share, help, and contribute. Thus, Islamic social finance in the form of zakah, infaq, sadaqah is very relevant to be applied in Indonesia. Based on research conducted by the Islamic Research and Training Institute Islamic Development Bank in 2017, the potential for zakah in Indonesia reached 217 trillion per year. In fact, according to the Basnas, using the zakah potential mapping indicator, the potential for zakah can reach 233.8 trillion per year. But in reality, the zakat fund recorded is only 10 trillion or around 4% of the potential zakat itself. This year, the government plans to pour 110 trillion in funds into social safety nets to minimize the impact of the corona outbreak. By maximizing the collection and distribution of zakah to reach its potential of 233.8 trillion, this additional APBN funding can be helped. Zakah can improve the quality of life and reduce the number of people whose consumption is below the poverty line, so that funds allocated to the social safety net can be alleviated.
Today's main concern of zakat distribution is the data collection. Many of zakat is done through informal institutions such as local religious figure and mosque because people prefer to do zakat directly. Many of them are not recorded and leads to inaccurate data. In fact, the integration and strengthening of the national database will also ease the government in analyzing poverty conditions in Indonesia. To overcome this problem, the government could encourage promotion and education regarding zakat, infaq, and sadaqah. Local mosques used for zakat distribution must be registered as zakat collecting units under Zakat Management Organization and strengthen data collection. Zakat centers were also established in each place recorded in the national database.
Besides using Islamic social finance, Islamic commercial financial instruments can also be used as a tool to deal with the pandemic. Although the financial industry also experienced difficulties during the pandemic. One of them are micro, small, and medium enterprises or UMKM sector. They are trying to survive amid the collapse of this economy. Some UMKM owners do not belong to the Muzaki group but are very vulnerable to falling into poverty due to the economic instability. Therefore, assistance and solutions offered can be from the capital aspect. Islamic financial institutions, both Islamic banking and Baitul Mal wa Tamwil or BMT, have a role to provide financial stimulus. One way is to provide restructuring for credit payments and Sharia financing to the public. In addition, capital can also be made with Qardul Hasan contracts or loans without taking benefits or profit. But the stimulus can only last in the short term. So what about Islamic commercial finance in the long run amid this unstable situation?
The long-term instrument by Islamic economics is Cash Wakaf Linked Sukuk, or known as CWLS. It is a social investment in which endowments of money collected by Indonesian Wakaf Board will be managed and then placed on the state sukuk instrument issued by the Ministry of Finance and has a term of 5 years. During a pandemic like this, CWLS can help the country's development. Coupons and discount paid at the beginning of the issuance can be used to help build new Wakaf assets such as building hospitals or buying other health sector support equipment. Currently there are only 360 hospitals to deal with the coronavirus and still considered lacking.
This time, the government is expected to issue cash wakaf link sukuk in retail form so that the general public is able to participate. Education, literacy, and outreach about wakaf and cash wakaf link sukuk must also be increased to gain public interest and trust. If published and successfully optimized, cash wakaf link sukuk as one of the Islamic financial instruments can accelerate the economic recovery of the community. This optimization is strengthened by the generosity of the people of Indonesia and the potential and realization of wakaf funds. The cash wakaf link sukuk scheme can also help deal with the pandemic in the long run by becoming a source of funding for the construction of needed health facilities.
So the conclusion is, if Islamic economics and finance can be implemented properly, then the Indonesian economy is expected to be able to survive during this pandemic. The government handling through its fiscal policy has been considered effective, but Islamic economics and finance also bring alternative solutions that can support and boost the policies that have been made. Both can run simultaneously to restore the national economy that fell due to the COVID-19 pandemic.